Hello and thanks for joining us today at noon. I'm Mackailyn Johnson. Now at noon, state police are investigating a shooting in Jacksonville involving a law enforcement officer. We'll have more about the shooting that happened just a few hours ago. Plus, a warning from an Apple Watch saves a woman's life. How the small alert got her into surgery. And later, changes are coming to Instagram, what you can expect to see on the social media site as they try to grow. But first, meteorologist Nathan Scott, you are here with us. It's been hot week after week, but we are ready for some relief, and I think you got some in store for us.
Changes will be happening, Mackailyn, but if you notice right behind you, there was a cloud building in the distance west of Little Rock. And as we take a look at live radar, yeah, there's one shower just popping up right over Williams Junction. So that's on the border of Pulaski County and Perry County that may continue to grow and affect other parts of the metro. So we'll have to watch out for that potential. But overall, that's the only shower I'm seeing right now on radar. However, with the heat and humidity, I think there will be a few more spotty showers and maybe even some storms develop through the course of the afternoon. As you see here on future radar, the best chance will be in North Arkansas, but anywhere in Central Arkansas, don't be surprised if you do see a quick downpour. That rain chance will be going up into our Thursday, but out there right now, look at these temperatures warming up once again into the mid to upper 90s. It's 97 in Russellville, 95 in Clinton, 95 in the capital city, and 93 in Pine Bluff. And with that humidity, surprise, surprise, you know the drill. It feels more like 105 to as high as 107 right now in Searcy. Feels like 101 in Monticello. Feels like 103 in Hot Springs. So we got a heat advisory in effect through the rest of the afternoon until 8 o'clock this evening. Excessive heat warning in effect for the River Valley counties around Fort Smith and also into Oklahoma. Highs today topping out upper 90s to low 100s, but this could be the final day that we'll see the temperature hit the century mark, at least for a few days, because cooler temperatures are in the forecast. Along with that, a better chance of scattered showers and storms. I'll have more on that timing coming up.
Thanks, Nathan. Now to a developing story out of Jacksonville. State police are now leading an investigation into a shooting involving a Jacksonville police officer. Jacksonville police tell us the shooting took place in the 800 block of Christie Cove. We know now that the officer involved was not hurt and that the suspect was wounded. Again, state police have taken over the investigation, so information is limited right now. We will update you with the latest here on THV 11 and THV11.com. Now to a THV 11 update. This afternoon, we're learning more about a deadly shooting in Hope. Police responded to calls of shots fired at a home on West Avenue in the southwest Arkansas town. Those in the house say they were awoken by the gunshots, but upon arrival, police found a 40-year-old woman laying unresponsive inside the home. Police say Marcela Lopez had been shot in the torso. Lopez was later pronounced dead at the hospital. Now it's unclear if she was struck outside and came in or if she was hit by a stray bullet from the street. No arrests have been made, but investigators are looking for a four-door car, possibly a Dodge Charger. Now we turn to a hit and run in downtown Little Rock that nearly took a turn for the worst last Friday night. Andrew Appler says he was standing at the corner of Broadway and Markham 1 minute watching his dog Ruger. Then the next thing, he found himself under a truck. Appler says the truck driver stopped and helped search for his dog, but the nice act didn't last long.
The driver of the vehicle seemed nice enough at the time, but was in a hurry to get out of here without saying he'd done anything, hit someone.
Now Appler is working with the Little Rock Police Department to get answers. LRPD tells us they're looking at video footage near the area to find a suspect, but unfortunately these investigations can be tricky.
It's one of the hurdles we have through the investigations to try to, figure out exactly what that license plate is.
As the investigation continues, Appler and his dog Ruger thankfully are recovering. And the capital murder trial of Kayvon Ward continues today. This morning we have finally heard from Ward himself after the state rested its case. Today Ward told jurors murder was never on his mind that day. Ward is charged with killing Hot Springs police officer Brent Scrimshire back in 2020. He went on to say he doesn't remember which officer shot first, but says he didn't shoot first. His testimony comes the state presented over 150 pieces of evidence. As for what's next, there could be some delays in the trial as Kayvon Ward's mother, a witness for the defense, is home with COVID. Discussions continue as to whether the judge will allow her testimony via Zoom. We'll have more from THV 11's Ian Russell this evening at 5 and 6. Well, it looks like America will have a lottery fever for at least a few more days. Nobody won last night's Mega Millions jackpot, so it's now over $1 billion for Friday night's draw. Heavy traffic crashed the Mega Millions website overnight as people checked to see if they had a winning ticket. 9 tickets matched all 5 numbers, but not the Mega Ball for at least $1 million. On the Vine yesterday, Ashley McNatt from the Arkansas Scholarship Lottery said it's already happened here.
We've actually had 2 $1 million winners off of this Mega Millions roll here in the past few weeks. We had a winner from Pine Bluff and one from Arkadelphia.
In the game's 20-year history, there have only ever been 2 other $1 billion jackpots. The most recent was last year. Now your top national stories this afternoon. All eyes are on the Federal Reserve today as it is expected to boost interest rates for the 3rd time this year. Chairman Jerome Powell has indicated that a hike of 3/4 of a percentage point is likely. The Fed has been increasing the rate this year in an effort to curb inflation. CEOs of several gun manufacturers will testify before a House committee on Capitol Hill today in the wake of several high-profile mass shootings. The committee is investigating the companies regarding the sale and marketing of AR-15 style rifles and similar firearms. This week, the full House is expected to vote on 2 gun bills, including one that bans assault weapons. 2 former Minneapolis police officers involved in George Floyd's death will be sentenced today. In February, J. Alexander King and Tu Tao were found guilty by a federal jury of depriving Floyd of his constitutional rights. A 3rd officer, Thomas Lane, was found guilty by the same jury and sentenced last week to 30 months in jail. And WNBA star Brittany Griner is scheduled to testify today in Moscow in a Moscow courtroom. The basketball star has been detained for more than 5 months. Russian officials allegedly found cannabis oil and vape cartridges in her luggage. Griner recently pleaded guilty. In court yesterday, her attorneys had an expert witness testify about medical marijuana being prescribed by doctors in the United States, even though it is considered illegal in Russia. Well, CBS News has confirmed reports that the Department of Justice's criminal investigation into January 6th may be circling around former President Donald Trump. Natalie Brown has more details from the White House.
Very corrupt.
In his first return to Washington, D.C. since leaving office, former President Donald Trump once again raised false claims about the 2020 election.
I ran the first time and I won. Then I ran a second time and I did much better.
In a sign, the Justice Department probe into the presidential election and January 6th may be widening. CBS News has confirmed federal prosecutors are looking into communications of people close to the former president and his re-election campaign. Witnesses called before a federal grand jury include 2 former advisors to then Vice President Mike Pence. It's not clear Mr. Trump himself is a target of the investigation, but prosecutors are asking questions related to him and his aides. In an interview with NBC News, Attorney General Merrick Garland reiterated no one is above the law.
We intend to hold anyone who was criminally responsible for the events surrounding January 6th, for any attempt to interfere with the lawful transfer of power from one administration to another, accountable. That's what we do.
In addition to the Capitol assault on January 6th, another focus of the DOJ investigation is the efforts to replace electors won by President Joe Biden with those loyal to Mr. Trump. The Attorney General says this is the most wide-ranging investigation in its history. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
Attorney General Garland mentioned the House Select Committee's investigation into January 6th and said it was inevitable that Congress would find elements before law enforcement and vice versa. Now just ahead, how wearable technology from Apple was critical in saving a life. Nathan.
Here's one lone shower just to the west of the metro right now. I'll have a look at live radar and talk about your chances of gully washers going up next.